This is In Depth. Law enforcement officers, detectives, private eyes going back in the day would be amazed. Artificial intelligence has entered the realm of Dick Tracy. AI is certainly drawing attention lately and causing some debate. And now the Evansville Police Department has a program called Clearview AI. And joining me tonight is EPD Chief Billy Bolin. Chief, good to see you tonight. And I'll just start this out. You've been involved in law enforcement for many years. Back in the day, would you have ever dreamed that something like this would be a tool at your disposal?
Oh, absolutely not. There's been so many advancements in this career since I started, from tasers to drones to license plate recognition to now the AI. It's amazing the tools that are out there that we would have never dreamed of. And actually, at the very beginning of my career, the DNA stuff was out there, but it really wasn't being used. It was more fingerprints was what you were looking for, and so that was kind of the new thing coming on the scene, was the DNA at the time. So no, I would have never dreamed that.
Well, we're looking at faces now, a lot of faces, and we're going to roll some video here with some of the software that this basically gives officers at their disposal. And basically, what are you looking for and how does it work? And what are the detectives, your detectives, telling you about this?
So what this is doing for our detectives is to help figure out who suspects are in crimes, people where we have an image of somebody that's committed something and we don't know who they are, to help connect that dot. If we have somebody on a run that we believe has given us a false name or not telling us who they are, refusing to give us ID, we can take their picture and enter that into the system. Something I learned about last week that I didn't know we had done is here recently we had found a dead body, and we didn't have any identification or know who it was, and they actually took a picture of this person, and that's how we were able to identify them and notify their family, was using this technology.
And you've seen a lot of this technology in shows like NCIS, CSI and all that, but for this to be reality right now for the size of the department that we have in Evansville is remarkable in this day and age, because we see so many security videos of suspects, and often I'll call it the hoodie dynamic, whether they be white, black, or of any color. That can be tough to identify, and that can be a big challenge, even if you get a partial face showing on that video.
Yes. And I'm not sure exactly which facial features this system is measuring or looking at. I do know from what I've seen on it is they will give you images. If I took your picture and put it in there, it would populate all these photos, and with you being on the news forever, you'd probably have hundreds of thousands on there, but it would show you a lot, and it gives you percentages of how much they think this could be the person. For example, your person earlier that came over and did the video, this system was showing 100% that they said these pictures that they were populating were him.
That is kind of scary, and that gets us into there are some critics who say, gosh, the privacy of all this is pretty well out the window. How do you respond to that?
So, and I've seen some articles too about this nationwide, and people that are skeptical or worried how it's used. The way we're using it, I have no issues with it, and the only photos or the people they're connecting to are photos that are out in the public domain. So if you're on a social media site and you're sharing your photos to the world and you don't have them locked down as private, Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, things like that, if you've been on the news, if you've been in a newspaper, those are all out in the public domain. That's the only images that this is matching to. So it's not going into private databases or your private computer or things like that. It's only images that are already out there.
And some of the critics are saying, though, that it is targeting certain dynamics, certain demographics. MIT basically saying the data being used to teach the software system, now I'm not saying this is happening in Evansville, is embedded with bias. Talking about a nationwide picture here, and only serves to reinforce inequality. In other words, some of the algorithms that they're sending into these software programs are basing their information on high crime areas, and that's basically, I hope I'm using the right term, educating that software to basically target those areas, and there's a disproportionate number of, for example, people of color being arrested as opposed to white.
So I'm not sure what they're basing that on, or if there's a different way to use this system than what we are, but the way we're using it is when we have a person we're trying to identify and we're entering their image already into this system. So if I'm entering an image of Brad Byrd in there, it's going to come back as a white person. So the only time I'm going to get a hit on a person of color is if I'm entering a picture of a person of color. So I don't know how that would affect the way we're using it. So I'm not sure what that study was looking at or how they were.
And a plus side that detectives are saying this can save a remarkable amount of time.
Oh,
because
it absolutely does.
Your file drawer is running over, I know, and that takes time to sift through all those suspects' pictures.
Yes.
And with that being said, one of the biggest complaints I know that police investigators, law enforcement officers often voice is the fact that witnesses do not like to talk after a crime. Will this make a difference in that aspect of
Oh, it
fighting
absolutely
crime?
can. If, you know, 2 years ago, if we had a image and we didn't know who it was, we're putting it on social media, asking for people to call in, or we're doing a news release and asking for you all to share the picture and have people call a tip line. And a lot of times people don't want to call in on somebody, or they don't want to be the snitch, or they don't want to face retaliation, to where this computer program, it don't really care. It's going to spit out images and say this is who it is, or if there is images out there of the person.
Well, I remember my wife and I were at a St. Louis baseball game about 6 years ago, and we had someone take a picture of us in the crowd. And so we fed it into Facebook. Now, this is not Clearview at all, but that first image that I saw all these boxes with names of people by these individuals, perfect strangers. That was that first initial glance at that was kind of scary.
Yeah, and you know, we talked off camera, it's kind of like anybody that has an iPhone. Your iPhones are registering faces, so I can pull up my pictures and all of my closest friends and family members, it will tag every single picture, it's got that person in it. So we're all carrying this technology in our pockets right now, and this company is just smart enough to utilize it. And my stance is, if we can use this to help protect innocent people and put the people breaking the law in jail, I'm all for it.
Well, Chief Bolin, thanks a lot for joining us tonight, and we'll be keeping in touch because it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
You're watching Eyewitness News at 9. Back in a moment.